My half square triangle blocks for my Cat Quilt Block tutorial are going to be 3.5 inches finished. So I'm going to get them prepared first. Now I'm going to be using an AccuQuilt Go Me. If you don't have an AccuQuilt, don't worry. I will link below a video that shows you how to do these 3.5 inch half square triangle blocks manually. I am not paid nor sponsored to create this video. I'm just going to put my stack of fabric onto the AccuQuilt die. You can cut up to about 6 pieces of fabric with this die. So I'm going to put it through one end of my AccuQuilt, apply some light pressure, and it will then go through the AccuQuilt Go Me. And then I can lift this plastic section up here, and then that will reveal my half square triangles. I really love this because I really don't like cutting. Once again, I am not paid nor sponsored to create this video. I sew using a Baby Lock Soprano. In the top part of our thread, we are going to be using a polyester. I'm going to use a white polyester. If I'm sewing something light, I will use a white thread, and if I'm sewing something dark, I'll use a black thread. In the bobbin area, I'll also use a white thread, and on my sewing needle here is a Microtex 9014 sewing needle. Here are my settings. What I love about the Baby Lock Soprano is it will always tell you what foot to use on whatever stitch that you're selecting. I'm going to be placing my pivot key on today, and I'll show you what this does in a second. I also attached the 1/4 inch foot with guide. It gives me a perfect 1/4 inch every single time. For our Cat Quilt Block, we are going to need 4 half square triangles, and like I said, if you didn't have the AccuQuilt, don't forget to have a look at that link down below, and I'll show you how to make 3.5 inch square triangles. So let's chain stitch these triangles together. So we're doing 4. We are not going to take any of the triangles out. We're going to leave them in the machine. And if you notice, my presser foot went up without me having to go to the back of it and lifting it up and down. That is the pivot key on the Baby Lock Soprano. So it'll automatically raise up and down every time you take your foot off the foot accelerator. Here we go. Let's get another set ready to go here. So this is one of the fastest ways of sewing loaded quilt blocks together. Now if your triangle does get stuck in the teeth, just move that triangle further along. It's just that we haven't pushed it further along in, and the teeth can't grab the fabric, that's all. And I've got my last one here. I'm going to push this one through. So it's going to kind of look like a banner when you pull it out, and you're just going to cut each of these threads in between here. Now we're going to bring our pressing mat back, and we're going to press these half square triangles open. This is going to be for like the bottom part of the mouth of our Cat Quilt Block, and for the ears of our Cat Quilt Block. So I'm pressing it over to the pink side. When you're doing this, you kind of don't want to use scraps. I would be consistent with a highly contrasting 2 colours. This looks brilliant when you do it in high contrast 2 colours. Whatever the background colour of your quilt block is, cut a piece 3 inches in width by 3.5 tall. and then cut another one exactly the same dimensions, 3 inches in width by 3.5 inches tall, in whatever colour your cat face is. This is going to be the centre part of the face of the cat quilt block, and it is 5 inches by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 3/4. Now I'm going to build the block. So this is the top of the cat quilt block. This is its ears. Then this is the body of its face. And then this is the bottom part of his face. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take this over to the sewing machine and you're going to stitch these 3 first. And then you're going to stitch these 3 second. Now once these blocks are complete, you want to press them. I kind of press them whichever way they want to fall. And then we just want to attach the centre portion of Kitty's face. So you'll fold the top part face down. And then do the same thing with the bottom. So you're just going to flip this up, right sides together, and sew at the bottom with 1/4 inch. And then press whichever way seems natural for the seam to go. Now I'm going to square this up and I'm going to cut all the loose edges off, because I think what I'm going to do now is add a white border around the cat's face, because I'm going to be turning mine into a wall hanging. You don't actually have to do quilts all the time with your quilt blocks. You can also do wall hangings. You could turn it into a cushion cover. You can do all sorts of things. It doesn't necessarily always have to be a quilt. Currently this block is 8.5 by 10.5, and you can square it up just by adding simple borders. I cut 2 strips, 1 for each side, 2.25 in width by the length of the cat quilt block. Then I cut some 2-inch strips, sewed them on, and now I'll just press these into place. And then if you're trying to achieve a 12-inch block, you would just cut these top sections down. I hope you've enjoyed watching this cat quilt block tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I have hundreds and hundreds of sewing and quilting videos for you to enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.